Hey, we're back for the last bat rep of the year. Once again, joined by Tim.
Hi.
To play some Adeptus Titanicus. Sorry, I got you re-addicted to the crack, Tim.
You really did.
On many counts.
Oh, I love this game so much. It's so good.
So we're going to dive straight in. We're playing a match play mission where we actually have two different objectives to achieve each.
Which is interesting.
Very cool. About the same battle length and all that jazz that you normally get. And we're playing 1750 points
Yes,
each.
we are. I think it's our first actual kind of where we've done points values.
Fully going for it. Yeah, we've done Legio traits and everything. So this is going to be an interesting one. No command points though. We haven't gone that far
No,
yet.
we've got the stratagems and everything like that. None of that yet, no.
So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so Tim has set up on the airfield side of things with his Traitor Legion. They're technically not chaos according to the rules, but they definitely are. Look at this lovely conversion. So he has to defend his area of the board. So there is a 12, 18, 24 and 30 inch imaginary line that if he keeps me out of those segments, he gets progressively more points. Meanwhile, my Legio's previous Princeps is here and a crashed Titan, and I have to move up, retrieve the crew that survived, and exit via this battlefield edge to get maximum points, or at least stand within 12 inches of it. And we also both will score points for taking out each other's Titans. So let's get to turn one. Pretty tame turn one from me. Some movement, the all-ahead full stride order, let these guys completely relocate. As I generally pushed up across the board, the knights have also full strided behind here because I'm terrified of this thing shooting them to pieces. And nothing had bead on Tim's sneaky move up the side here. Obviously there were two of these and now there's one, thanks to my warlord shooting, but that was about it. I think that's the only casualties and or damage dealt, right, Tim?
Yeah, it is. My guys have, the Legion that I'm playing have a bit of a, they enjoy praying to the Omnissiah, and as such they have taken time to beseech them, gaining each of my Titans 2 rerolls for any dice throughout this game.
Yeah, you haven't moved or shot, so
no moving or shooting, so I paid the price.
Let's see, because yours is a mainly defensive strategy this game, so it might well pay off, and we're getting some action now in turn 2. Okay, so the Cerastus Knights have charged Tim's remaining Cerastus and finished it off, but over here, your Princeps Signoris has kind of lost control a little bit here of the power of the machine spirit, but you get to choose. That's pretty cool.
I do. I have an additional chance of failing my machine spirit, or awakening my machine spirit, I should say. But if I fail, I get to pick. And he is belligerent.
Belligerent?
No, impetuous. Impetuous. So he gets to move forward d6 inches, so he'll be towards the nearest Titan, which is going to be that
just what you want when you've got a fist and a chain fist ready to mince things up.
Yes.
So he's getting his groove on.
I get to move 5.
And a nice extra 5 inches. That'll do well, Tim.
Yeah.
And he's ended up going full Tracy Island on those palm trees, which is why it's great that you don't glue these down. Rest of the movement phase has actually been pretty aggressive. I've moved up a lot here in order to get this objective, much more aggressive than I normally would. My knights have tried to sneak out of Arc here. They've done it with the carapace weapons, but not the Sun Furies. That might be painful. We have had some reactor overheats already. The Praesagius Legio trait triggered, and the critical hit from the reactor was fixed. Unfortunately, Tim's Warhound's shields have collapsed on a double one to do any repairs to it, and the Reaver also couldn't vent any plasma, so Tim's got a few reactor issues already, but we're about to get into the action phase now. Well, this sneaky move has paid off because I managed to strip a couple of shields off the Warlord Titan with this manoeuvre here, and the the Warhound fired his 2
turbo laser destructors
with draining, which you activated both times, rolling a double heat and using one of his re-rolls, has peppered some shields off this Reaver, and yeah, it's all starting to go off now. Its shields collapsing across the board time. My Reaver's shields are down after a barrage of firepower from over here, and these 2 Warhounds have ganged up on this one to bring its shields down and start putting some damage on it. This is a very, very close firefight for turn 2, I feel here, Tim, compared to previous games.
I think so, yes.
It's getting a bit nasty.
Yeah.
Some concentrated firepower from this Warlord at very close range means there isn't a Titan here anymore. Its reactor had a massive meltdown after taking several body shots. It went into wildfire mode and faced away from anything before it shot, which we felt was disappointing. So Tim used his reroll, as all good chaos should, for maximal chaos, and it still ended up facing the same direction.
Unfortunately so.
Yeah, could have got the Reaver, which would have been funny for me. Could have pasted this guy with his Vulcan Mega Bolter, also would have been funny for Tim. So it really could have gone either way. Turn 3, early doors damage from Tim. He has priority. This has the first fire order on it and has opened on my Reaver before I could damage control. I've taken many hits to the body and my reactor overloaded. My magazine cooked off, pouring shots into my 2 Warhounds, taking a shield off. My Warlord, which soaked it up, and this guy took some leg damage to his armour. And my Reaver that was going for the objective is no more. Interesting manoeuvres here because Tim decided to fire first, rightly so, taking out my Reaver. I managed to sacrifice this Warhound to move up and into this Reaver, denying him the bonus dice for charging me. The Warlord and this Warhound are now having to convene on the objective. And over here, Tim's protecting his flanks with this Warhound to drive off these irritating Questoris Knights over the back here. And we are just about to enter the damage control phase, but unfortunately this guy does seem to have a bit of a reactor issue, Tim.
He does. Shall we see if he explodes?
Let's do it.
A 7.
Ooh, consult the chart. Oh, it's okay, everybody, don't panic. It's just a little bit of a reactor leak, which has caused some critical damage to his systems. But other than that, he's absolutely fine. In a surprise to absolutely nobody, this Titan has been brought down, but after attacks from the Chain Fist and the regular Power Fist, it has fallen silent. So the Machine Spirit is dead, but the Titan stands in its place, deactivated, which means it actually gets in Tim's way. So you can actually still interact with it, move into it, shoot it, etc. that can cause it to fall over. But right now, it's just a giant hunk of metal that's in the way.
Hopefully.
However, Tim is a tactical genius and has pointed out the Apocalypse missile launchers haven't fired, which they can do. Oh, actually, Tim, we need to check the rules because that's a carapace weapon and I'm smaller than you.
With it.
I'm within 8 inches and a smaller target, so he can't get me. The more you know. After the Warlord regained all of its shields, my Questoris Knights have again piled on a little bit of damage here, but nothing really to talk about. You've still got a 4-up save on your Warlord. The Reaver took some heavy hits to the body from the plasma gun on this Warhound, leading to some critical damage. Somehow my Knights survived the Turbo Laser Destructor firepower here.
Yeah.
Not quite sure what happened. And nothing else has put damage on this Warhound, so it sits there unaffected. And my Warlord shields have collapsed under a torrent of firepower from over here. So I've still got to make a play for this objective. Tim's still got to drive me back, and we'll see what happens next turn. Okay, so Tim issued the charge order on this Reaver, which meant I had to move my Warhound first. So it nipped around here to get this objective. I moved my Cerastus up thinking I had enough distance, and Tim is fractionally under 2 inches within them when he pushed his reactor. So I believe they're going to get chain fisted, which is super bad news when you're just a knight.
I hope so. So I need 2s.
2?
Oh!
Okay.
Oh,
okay, not the best
so it's
damage
9,
result
10,
there.
11. So 9 and an 11.
So that's
9 and a 10.
Direct. It's 2 direct hits. Not bad, but not great.
Oh, actually.
Hang on, you have a reroll, Tim.
I do, but I also...
Oh, you also charged several inches.
I moved 9.
Okay,
so
that netted out to 2 more hits. So 2 more rolls for damage.
Oh!
That's a bad one. That's a knight dead straight up. And then we've got damage on the other one. Okay, so after a full stride in the combat phase, my Titan has made off with the objective. I don't actually know yet if I'm close enough to my own border. We will check shortly. Absolutely harried by this lot. Shield stripped off by the Reaver. Damage piled on to the head and body by the Warlord. But it's still alive. Oh, its weapon's disabled as well, isn't it, Tim?
Lost his plasma gun.
Taking a serious pasting. My Warlord tried to intercept against Tim's and put some damage on him and got rid of his shields, but that's about it. The Questoris Knight over here did fantastic work, taking out the leg armour completely of this Reaver, so it's critical on leg and body now. However, took some firepower from these rocket pods to take one out of action. So it's still all to play for. However, We have to see if the game ends. Tim informs me a 9 or a 10 sees an end to the game. Ooh, we get one more turn. Let's see if I can get these guys near the objective. Due to orders issued, we had a lot of action in the moving phase. My Warlord ineffectually fired on Tim's Warlord. Tim's Warlord has fired on the Warhound, not quite getting it. You can see how close it's made it to the end. It is on the full stride order, so hoping it's actually going to be able to get off this turn. A bit of repairing and manoeuvring over here. But the most important thing is that its reactor is in the orange and it already has critical damage to its body. So I now need to roll to see how many reactor hits it takes from being hot. 3 is bad, Tim. So these are technically strength 10 due to body damage modifiers. And, ooh, I think I've gotten away with it, Tim.
Okay.
So that netted out to 2 devastating hits and a critical, which was enough to put me on all armor removed from the body and 3 out of my 3 critical damage slots, but not the one that takes it over into the catastrophic damage. So it is alive and it will be able to move in the combat phase off the table, which will be very nice. Okay, so the Warlord, as Tim informs me, is actually just in range of this this Titan over here. So, yes, thank you for demonstrating. He is going to hit with a Sun Fury Plasma Gun. He is doing cold shots to the body because there's basically nothing left of it. He is also maximal firing, and he has Auspex scanners, so he's only -1 to the cold shot, which is nice.
So 4s.
So bad roll here, please, Tim.
2 hits.
Ooh, that's 2. That is going to kill it because it's strength like 10 plus 3. You need to roll like less than 1. Yeah, it's dead. The Warlord has opened fire in a desperate play against the Reaver here and has cooked off its reactor in a catastrophic meltdown of 10-inch radius. Tim, is that basically everything in the back of the board there?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's the whole lot. I'll just pass me that Questoris Knight right now.
We might pass, I don't know.
No, I know I don't. I've got 1 more damage and it dies.
Okay.
Everything else, though, we'll have to rack up some damage and see what happens.
Yeah.
All we're left with now is potentially Warlord and a Reaver over here. Let's see how bad this goes. And the net outcome wasn't so bad, actually. There's a bit of damage to the Warlord's leg armour and a critical hit to the body on the Reaver, but nothing actually lasting or it's going to take an effect in the game. So now we are just 2 Titans staring down 1. Okay, we're rolling for 1 final turn on a 5+. The game is called to a finish. It is all over. We will rack up the victory points, but given that I'm very much deep in my own board here, this is not under my control. I was 1 turn away from stepping on it and getting it, and that's actually technically dead. Yeah, it's looking good, Tim. So yeah, that was actually closer than the point suggested. It was 25-14 to Tim.
Yep.
But there was some real clutch moments, like the crew bailing out of the exploding Warhound went an inch outside of the 12-inch mark that would have given me 10 points and put only a 1-point difference.
Yes, yeah, very close. Some very close things and some, yeah, it's been, again, very enjoyable game. Love Titanicus.
Yeah, brilliant game.
It's so good, so good.
Everything just seems to, even a bad start, you had a terrible start and then it swung back to a win for you because of small incremental little advantages. Tim does love to gamble on the reactor dice.
Anytime, any excuse for a gamble, I will love it. And the Legion that I took actually helped with it, I feel.
Yes,
so,
for sure.
You
did harness some machine spirit
I
powers,
did,
nice.
I did.
So that was our final bat rep for the year. We'll be back in January. Paul and I are recording a bunch of games.
Fantastic.
Fingers crossed if our day holds in January.
Awesome.
So we should have some more content coming. So cheers for watching, guys.
Happy New Year, guys.
Yeah, Happy New Year.